You know, there's no such thing as a job for life anymore. And that went a long, long time ago. And actually, I've made some decisions that perhaps weren't the best, but it's got me to somewhere else that I wanted to be. I'm Charlie Gower. I work in marketing for a large specialist insurance company in the City of London, near the Gherkin, if any of you know that iconic building. In terms of what my role is, I'm responsible for a number of things, but the most important thing is to help the company be customer-centric. And by that I mean that they actually take account of what our customers or potential customers want and need, so we can provide them with the products and services that they want. And the way that I do that is I organise market research with our customers and potential customers, and also those that advise them. So that could be insurance brokers or insurance agencies. And the things that we talk to our customers and other audiences about is what they think about our brand. Do they like it or not like it? And what do they think of us? About our advertising, of which we do a fair amount, our products, and sort of innovation in terms of new things that we might want to think about and service. I think one of the things that I really enjoy about my job is the fact that you can make a difference. So actually I know as a result of some things that I have done or said or proposed, that something will happen that will make a difference to our company, so we can provide what our customers need better. And I think that is what's most enjoyable. In terms of the challenges, I think it's true of any company, is continually needing to prioritize what is most important for the business, as opposed to something that you might enjoy doing, which may not be the most important thing to do on any given day. But also just the size of it and how you get hold of people to get them to give you the information you need or whatever you need when they've got their own agenda. So what I might not need to do is not necessarily what they might need to do. So it's how you collaborate and influence and negotiate. There are probably two things. One is about the environment. So I am the executive sponsor of the UK Green Team at Hiscox. I was also a very active member of the Green Team at Coca-Cola when I worked there as well. So for me, it's really important in terms of using sustainable materials wherever you can, making choices around what you buy. And I also have an allotment, so I grow my own sort of fruit and veg. So that's really important to me. I'm no Greta Thunberg by a long shot, but I do think if everybody does a small bit, then it does help. Yeah. The second thing is, I have mentored an African woman who's now 30 since she was 16, who comes from a disadvantaged background. And for me, that's incredibly important because I can see the difference that education and mentoring has made to her life and then her dependent family who she supports. So that's really important. And on a personal note, it's about trying to be as sort of fit and healthy as I can be, which I think lockdown has helped because we don't have the travel time now. So there's a bit more time in the day to look after yourself a bit better. I went to university and I thought that I was probably going to be an academic, that I was going to stay in university as a professor ultimately, was what I thought I would do. You can clearly see that hasn't happened, although I've kept an element of that through the training that I do because I enjoy that. But I would say is, in terms of your initial jobs, get something that has really good training and sets you up for all the soft skills that you will need in your career. And if it's not the right thing, accept that and move on. And there's nothing wrong with actually starting off and going, this isn't for me, I'll go and try something else that I think suits me better, because and actually who you are at 17 and 18 isn't necessarily who you are when you're 20, 30, 40. You change, and what matters to you changes. And, there's no such thing as a job for life anymore. And that went a long, long time ago. And actually, I've made some decisions that perhaps weren't the best, but it's got me to somewhere else that I wanted to be. And just learn as much as you can from each company, from each experience. One of the things is, who do your parents know, or who do, if you have older siblings, who do they know? Could you ask your teachers? Could they have any friends that they could recommend? So it's a whole thing about networking with the people that you do know. And if there are any, school talks or any things like that, and there's someone that you think you like the way they talk, ask them or suggest them. So always ask, because if you don't ask, as my mother used to say, you don't get. So think about who might be an appropriate person to do that, depending on what you want to do. I would go and listen to some TED Talks about how to be confident, how to be a good speaker. If you search on those sort of soft skills that you need in the office, and I would say listen to some TED Talks so that you are learning some of the things that companies would expect. And the other thing, if you've got time, look on LinkedIn, try and connect with people who are in offices, write to them and say, that, have you got a few days that you could give me for work experience, and use the time to try and make those connections. So if you're trying to find a mentor at the same time, you ask them, could they think of any way that you could get some experience at work? I think one of the things that I've noticed as I've progressed through my career, that at the beginning you're learning a lot about what it is that you're doing, but as you progress, it's the soft skills that actually will differentiate you and will help you to accelerate your career. So it's things about, how do I communicate with different people, and how do you adapt your style to meet their needs? So it's really important that, some people like a lot of detail, others like just a few details. And so if you can understand what they want more and get it across more quickly, that will really help you. So it's not just saying I'm a good communicator, it's about adapting and flexing your style to others. And I think in terms of also about influencing and negotiating, it's understanding what your goal is and be clear about that, and understand what is important to you about that. Also, I think the other thing is to realize, if I look at the jobs I've had, some of the jobs were okay for right now, but actually weren't my dream jobs. But for whatever reason, I did them, and I know why I did them. But actually it's helped me to get me where I want to be today, where I'm very happy. But there's some times where actually it's a good enough job, but it's not my dream job.